Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too. Hey guys, so I want to start by, I'm already getting emotional. I haven't even started yet. I feel like this episode is overdue, but it is also perfect timing. And I've touched on some of these things I'm about to talk about before, but hopefully this is in a new light. If you live under a rock, the Barbie movie came out, and I have so much to say about it. But first, let's pull a card. Oh boy, look at that lumpy mic. Gosh, I really need new stuff. I want to talk about the lovely Jenson, who is a psychic medium. I went to one of her Sunday Circle Zooms, which she basically reads everyone who comes, and it's a really wonderful experience. And I went and I went in totally blind, had no idea what to expect. I also, of course, was like an hour late. I thought it started at 7 and it starts at 6 Eastern. And I felt so bad. I show up like 5 minutes before 7 and realize I was an hour late. And I was like, oh my God, that is like so classic. I was so excited. This was the first week I could finally attend. I'd been like highly anticipating it. And I was like, okay, well, like I'm an idiot. Like I'll have to try again next week. And she was like, oh, like if it's okay with everybody else, like if we can do an extra 5 minutes and I'll give Megan a reading. And everyone was so kind enough to give me that extra 5 minutes. And I was like a little flustered coming in because I realized I was late. She, took a second to channel my energy. And like Jenson and I had met once before, didn't really know each other prior. If you're a skeptic, I'm just prefacing. She channeled me. And within literally 1 minute of her speaking, not even 30 seconds probably, I started to cry in front of all these people I'd never met before, because what she said had struck such a chord in me that I got emotional in front of strangers. And I mean, I guess that's not the first time I've done that before. But she was incredible. She touched on how like I feel a lot of the time like there's two sides of me, one of them that has like these conditioned limiting beliefs, and the other part of me that's like a bright, creative, happy soul who's authentic. And she says, she feels the battle within me and like where it comes from, and how that side will lead to great things. I just have to give that side my attention. And like I said to her, I was like, I have a hard time deciphering what inner voices come from which side. And she said, well, I already feel that it's separated in your mind, if that gives you any solace. And it was like so profound for me. So I highly, highly recommend that you check her out if you're interested in doing anything like that. I'll put the link in the YouTube description below if you guys want to check it out. I'm also going to be putting any book recommendations that I mentioned throughout the episodes. I'm going to start putting them in the YouTube descriptions as well if you want to check those out. So let's pull a card in this energy of the day, because I'm like feeling so... I have a lot of powerful feelings today, and they're beautiful feelings. Like I've had a wonderful, wonderful day and weekend, and I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm empowered, and just all the feels. So let's see what kind of energy this is going to result in. You're being asked to practice patience right now. It's not easy to do this, but you're strong, and there's a reason why things aren't aligning in the way you want them to in this moment. Have patience, it will eventually work out. I mean, okay, fine. I do feel like rushed sometimes. Like there's so many things I want to do, and I feel like constantly like I'm not getting there fast enough, and I hate having to explain to people over and over again and reinforcing that little sense that I'm not there yet and I'm not good enough. But that's an important reminder. Like I'm still learning lessons, and I feel that. I really do feel like even this Barbie movie was so powerful for me. Things aren't happening yet because they're not ready to happen yet. And I'm not ready for them to happen yet. And that's okay. Because they will when they're ready. We need to give ourselves love and patience. And know that we are enough even if someone else doesn't think so. Or you don't. you have that one voice on the side of your head that doesn't think so. Because you are enough, just the way you are. If I took anything away from this Barbie movie, it was that the experience of a woman is truly universal. Something that I've been going through in the last few years is that deconditioning from the internalized misogyny I grew up with. And if you're a woman who was ever at some point brainwashed and had the sense and the open mind to reflect on that, I feel like we all kind of go through stages, almost like stages of grief, but not really. Like at first you don't understand. You didn't have the consciousness and awareness as a youth to realize the effect of patriarchy on your ways, on your life and the life around you. But I think those of us, like I said, who do kind of undergo this deeper understanding of the ways it's affected us, go through a phase of being angry. And some of us stay in that phase longer. I feel like I had a phase where I was really angry. I was really angry when I realized like just how much it has affected me. I'm not like someone who hates men. I have a lot of men in my life that I love. And I also have empathy for the way that patriarchy has affected them negatively. And this movie captures it so well. And I personally related to this movie like so much. I feel like I've been going through this deconditioning these last few years. Beer Girl happened these last few years. So I've been kind of going through this deconditioning while I have a conservative boyfriend. I have a conservative family. I am Beer Girl. And in some people's eyes, Beer Girl is a symbol of brainwash brewski Barbie. If you've seen the movie, you would know. And that's not who I am. However, if you don't know me well and you just follow me on Instagram or you just saw like the Beer Girl video, you think, okay, like that's exactly what men want. That's the male gaze for a lot of people and their perception. Of course, I wasn't thinking about any of this when it first happened in the moment. I resonate so much with the feelings of not being able to strike the balances. Like America Ferrera's character has this monologue where she's consoling stereotypical Barbie, Margot Robbie, who feels like she's not enough for the world, and the world is always finding things wrong with her. And she's like, you're beautiful, you're smart, it's impossible to be a woman. You're set up to never feel like enough in this system. You're expected to acknowledge that the system is rigged, but not too much, because then you're a complainer. And you're expected to be pretty, but not too pretty to the point where you tempt other men too much so that it elicits bad behavior in them. Or pretty, but not too pretty where you're going to threaten other women. You're either brainwashed or you're weird, ugly Barbie. Like, I am for the girls, 100%. But my Instagram demographic is 95% men. And that makes me sad. And obviously, like, so is the demographic of SportsCenter and, like, where this all happened, where Beer Girl all went down, that the demographic is men. And it's so, I can't articulate it right. I just can't, I'm struggling so much with this. I want to be someone who is sexy, who's confident, who's fun, who's funny. And, like, that's also a symbol for brainwashed Barbie, but I don't want to be brainwashed Barbie. And the US Open is coming up again, and I want to go back. But the first time I went, again, like, I had no idea what was going to happen. It was just a fun, fleeting moment. And then it went viral. I don't know. I just continued living life normally. And then the second year, like, again, I didn't even think about it really up until I went again. And I didn't think, okay, like, this is guaranteed to happen again. Like, I just went. I didn't tell US Open I was going. I just went again, and it happened again. It was pretty spontaneous again. But this is a weird year. This is a weird year now. Like, what do I do? And what does it say about me? The pressure is starting to hit me. You know, I posted something on my Instagram story about this the other day, like, that we choose our hards. And I've talked about this on the podcast before, like, what we're willing to struggle for says everything about who we are. And my perpetual struggle is being truly fully seen and being okay with that. Part of this battle with myself is I like being sexy, confident, fun Megan, but I don't want to be brainwashed Barbie. I don't want to be stereotypical Barbie even though I basically, like, of all the Barbies that there are, I'm not physicist Barbie, I'm not president Barbie, I'm not Supreme Court Barbie, I'm not brain surgeon pilot Barbie, and I don't have any desire to be any of those Barbies. Not that they are not amazing and, like, inspiring, and I have so much respect and admiration for them, but what Barbie am I gonna be? I don't want to be stereotypical Barbie. I don't want to be brainwashed Barbie. And I don't want to be a part of perpetuating these unattainable standards for women. I also want to be authentic, sexy, cool, fun, confident, funny girl Megan Barbie. And I don't know what to do about the US Open this year. I know that God gave me this platform for a reason. God put me in this position for a reason. God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And I'm so terrified. Being seen is terrifying. I don't know how to strike the right balance for anyone. I don't know how to... And this is what the Barbie movie touches on this so well. Like, no one ever feels like enough. I don't want to let people down. I don't want to let my future self and my younger self down. But I don't know what to do. Maybe this pressure is made up and it's in my head, but it feels like I need to do something. I just don't know how. I want to be enough. I want to be liked. I want to strike the right balance. I don't want to be an angry person, but I also don't want to not acknowledge that there's a problem. But like the movie says, patriarchy is an idea. It's a concept. Just like every idea is made to make the uncomfortableness of life feel more comfortable. And Barbie says, like, I don't want to be the idea. I want to be part of the people who make the ideas. And I feel that way too. I don't want to be the male ideal. That's not ever my goal. I want to be Megan. And I want that to be enough. But I have to be okay with some people not thinking that's enough. And that's really scary. Opening yourself up to that on a global level is scary. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, like, it's just Instagram, it's just SportsCenter or the Jumbotron once a year. But to me, it's a big deal. There's a lot of eyes on me, and part of me wants to go back and keep it up and make people happy and smile. Like, that's who I am. I like making people happy and smile and laugh. And that's why I did it 3 years ago. But I don't want to be just Beer Girl. But the pressure to be liked and to strike the balance and keep everybody happy is too much. And I don't know how to strike that balance. I don't even know how I feel a lot of the time. Because everybody comments on everything I do, everything that I post. And how I need to be this. Or I should be this. And not this. And so that's why the movie really spoke to me. And it made me feel empowered. Like I can do this. Like I can be your girl superhero. And we're all in the same boat, and we all suffer from the same feeling of not being enough. And always feeling like we have to be our best at everything. And everything is our fault, and we can't do anything right. I feel like I can't do anything right. I can't be perfect for the male gaze, and I can't be the superhero that I want to be for all the women out there who are feeling like not enough and who are trying to constantly chase unattainable standards and ideals and always feeling like they're falling short no matter what. I'm not successful enough. I'm not making enough money. I'm too pretty. I'm not pretty enough. I'm too sexy on social media. I don't have an OnlyFans. I'm too stupid to profit from it. I'm being a whore by posting me in a bathing suit. It is impossible to be a woman. And I'm not being a victim. It's just exhausting. I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be. And I claim, don't take advice or opinions from people who aren't doing the same things as you, who aren't being vulnerable like you are. I want to not give a shit who likes me or not. But it's still there. The conditioning is still on that side of my brain. And it's still holding me back from being okay with fully being seen. You know, I talked about how wanting to be pretty, rich, and successful has had a lot of limiting beliefs for me, and how I've had to kind of unpack those things. Well, also being famous is one of those things. And I've been reframing it recently and trying to figure out why I want this and how I want it, because being famous as BR Girl, there's something missing. And maybe it's not missing, there's just something that's not quite right yet. And the time will come, patience, the time will come when it's right, because fame is just a resource and an outlet and influence, and it comes with power. And I want it, and I want to use it for good, and I want my ideas to put some good in the world that changes something. Like, I'm struggling so much articulating how I really feel right now, but maybe I'll eventually get better at this, and I'll be able to do this podcast better in a way that I feel confident about, because I don't, like, it's just, but I'm getting there. I promise I'm going to keep trying, because I don't want to live with the regret of not being who I knew I needed to be. I don't want to be a divisive figure. I don't want to be famous for being just BR Girl and being the dream girl for a man. I want to be uniting. I want to show that you can be fun and sexy and confident and also feminist and empowering to other women and not pitting other women against each other. Like, I just don't know how to strike the balance and be all those things at the same time and show that to everybody and be totally vulnerable. It's so fucking complicated. I have a few more weeks until the US Open. But do I go back? Do I chug a beer again? Do I not go back? Do I go back and then just keep doing what I'm doing? Like, I just feel like it's not enough. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a weird, unique position to be in. And I want to do right by everybody. And I want to do right by myself. And I just don't know what that means. So, patience. I'll get there. But I really loved Barbie. And I recommend you guys see it. I left feeling like I can move mountains. Obviously today I'm reflecting, but I felt so empowered. I feel like women are so amazing. They're so fucking badass. And men are great too. There's a lot of great men out there. Okay? There's a lot of great men out there. And this movie didn't change that. Us as women need to stop tying ourselves into knots to be liked. And that's a message that I need to do a better job of sharing publicly and posting about. Because now I have been put in this position. I have been put here by the divine powers that be. So now I feel the gift and the responsibility to be authentic to me and be okay with not being liked and still giving myself the validation instead of looking for it externally, that I am enough and that it doesn't matter what comes out of it. I have to detach from the money, the fame, needing to feel like enough externally, because making an impact and speaking my truth and overcoming this fear of being seen, that's where the internal reward will be. As scary as it will be, as hard as it will be, and as long as it will take. At least I'm trying. And that's enough for me internally. It's gotta be. It may not feel like it right now, but one day I hope it will. I just never feel like I'm doing enough. So how am I going to be a role model to women to feel like enough when I don't even feel like enough? How can I be all the things and not care about being any of the things at the same time? I want to be all the things for you, and I want to be all the things for me, but I also want to be detached and free of feeling like I owe people anything. However, it's a gift. I have to keep reframing in the positive. We are all in this together. No matter what battle you're fighting, somebody else is probably fighting that same battle. We make things look so perfect on Instagram, and yet we villainize people outside of us for doing that, yet we do that too. Like, the majority of Instagram is people posting their best moments and their best angles and photos and their best times with friends. Like, they put their best foot forward. Yet we criticize influencers and people who do that because they're not being realistic. Yet you're not willing to be brave enough to post your shitty moments. I don't want to post my shitty moments. I want to remind myself of the best things about myself, the parts that I love, the parts that I'm happy and excited to share. And I do want to be vulnerable too. It's a complicated game and you can never win. So you got to just do the best you can, you know? There's no way to do it right. So do it authentically. What feels right to you is right. You can be anything you want to be. And be patient. Be patient because it will evolve. It will change. And this movie is a great reminder of the forward progress that we need as a society. And it's not just America. It's global. And it points out a lot of reality. And it does it in a funny and cute way. And also at times moving way. All the beautiful reminders that I needed to push me forward in my path and my career. And reminded me, okay, what Barbie do I want to be? It's all a metaphor. It's all a metaphor for life. So what legacy do I want to leave? What idea do I want to put into this world? What impact do I want to make? Because we all die, but the ideas can live on, like patriarchy is an idea, and it has lived on. And not all ideas are meant to live on. We learn from the past for sure, right? That's why we have history. Like, this is a debate, right? Like, do we learn from the past? When do we let it go? I do think we need to learn from the past, and some things work, and they continue to work, and some things don't, and we need to realize when it's time to evolve. And when old things no longer work in the way that we now live, we need to be able to adjust and have an open mind. And we can all acknowledge we can all be better together. Like I said, my followers are 95% men, and like I haven't been sharing much of the podcast content on my Instagram. And I haven't even been, like, I don't tell many people about my podcast. And that's another part of me that's like I say I want to be an influencer. I say I want to be famous and use the resource for good. Part of me is still really scared and not willing to like fully put myself out there, fully be posting every day and really making it happen and telling people I'm doing this and being proud of it. I'm still ashamed. I'm still embarrassed of what I put out there. So I'm not ready yet. The things I'm manifesting, they can't happen because I still have these blocks that I need to break through to make them happen. I just have to get over that. I have to be seen. I have to be okay with being seen. I don't want to be your brainwashed brewski Barbie. I'm sorry. I love you guys, and I love a good beer, and I love making you laugh, and I love making you smile, but I don't want to be the ideal male gaze. I don't want to be brainwashed brewski Barbie. I don't really even want to be stereotypical Barbie. I want to be Barbie who's hot and cool and has a cause and is relatable. I want to be Megan. I just want to be Megan Lucky. And I want that to mean something. And I want to have a positive impact and influence. And this is forcing me to do that. Like, when I was a kid, I had these dreams, these secret dreams that I didn't tell anybody about of being famous. I didn't think it was realistic. And now it's like, I would have never tried if this beer girl thing didn't happen. And that's how I know, like, the universe has put me here for a reason. And now I have to try. Something will happen. I don't know what that something is, or if nothing will happen in the way that I think it will, but something will happen inside of me where I finally be okay with being seen enough to do something. Hopefully it manifests in a way where I can impact people for good. Well, that was a lot. This is going to be fun to edit. I love you guys. I hope me sharing this has had some kind of positive impact on another person out there, on you. And if you have any kind of similar internal battle, maybe not with being beer girl, but maybe you have at some point felt like you're not enough, you're not alone. You are enough just as you are. And I'm putting it out there for you to see, even if I don't want you to see it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, I know I'm not going to apologize. I'm trying to get better. I'm not going to apologize for this being the tone that it was. Like, I can't always be that happy, upbeat, funny girl who I love being. And I'm just being real with you. I'm going to be who I want to be at the end of the day. And there's going to be trials and tribulations, but I'm going to get there. And so are you. Just keep fighting every day, guys. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and keep on chugging. Chugging, no pun intended. I hope you guys have a great week. Go kill it. Go see the Barbie movie. Go get empowered. You are enough and you are amazing. And you are capable of what it is and who it is that you want to be and what you want out of life. And with that, I'm done. Take care, guys. Love you. Talk to you next week. Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too.